Hey everybody, happy Wednesday. I am so glad you are attending our virtual math class today with this pre-recorded video. I am so excited you're here. We are actually doing something a little unconventional today. We lost power for a little bit this morning at Goodlettsville Middle School. Lights flickered a couple of times, and I didn't want to risk losing a document on my computer. So instead of typing out our agenda today, I went ahead and I hand wrote it out on a piece of paper. So here's what we're going to be doing today. We're going to start with a welcoming activity. It's called What's Going On. We're going to take a look at a picture and try and think about what is going on in the picture. Why is what's happening in the picture happening? Who took the picture? When is it from? I'll make sure that I include the answer to that on Friday in our video. Then before we do number two, I down here thought of, we gotta do 1.5. But because I wrote this on paper, I was like, oh no, I can't add that in. So we're going to go, how do we go from mixed numbers to an improper fraction? These are some notes we are going to take. And then we will take some more notes on multiplying mixed numbers. Today we will only do by whole numbers. On Friday, we'll take a look at what happens when we multiply mixed numbers by... Sorry, we're going to do this opposite. We're going to do fractions today, whole numbers on Friday. So these are swapped. I'll just mark that out here. And then we'll pause for questions. If y'all have questions, you know how to get a hold of me. And then we'll have an exit ticket. Awesome. So, starting today, we are going to go ahead and take a look at this picture. I want you to pause the video and answer these questions up above once I'm done asking you these questions. Where was this picture taken? How do you know that? What makes you think that? When was it taken? How do you know when it was taken? And I don't need an exact date or year, but is it older? Is it newer? Is it current? Did it happen really recently? Really long ago? Or sometime in between? What's going on in this picture? What makes you think you know what's going on in this picture? Who is in this picture? What are there people? Obviously, there's people in this one. Sometimes there won't be. But who's in this picture? Who took this picture? And why did the person who took this picture take it? So pause the video here, answer those questions, and then I will reveal the answers to all of those in a video that I'll post on Friday. This is for our critical thinking. It is okay if you don't get them wrong. If you have no idea for one of those questions, make up an answer. We'll pause the video here, answer those questions, and then we will reveal the answers on Friday. Awesome. All right, so now we are going to go ahead and, wrong button, dive into our notes for today. So we're going to take some notes. Our first set of notes is going to be mixed numbers to improper fraction. As always, you can pause this video as many times as you need to throughout our watching or throughout the video to get caught up on your notes. If you need a break, pause it at any point and then unpause it when you are ready to go. But we have a mixed number. It is going to be 2 and 1/6. And we're going to try to get our mixed number to an improper fraction. As we start this, I want us to illustrate this fraction. So we're going to take our 2 and 1/6, and that means we're going to have 2 whole boxes, and then on our third box, and I promise by the end of today I will get my boxes centered in the page, but we are not centered. I know these are 2 holes. And I'm going to have to cut this last box into 6 pieces and then shade one of them. Now I'm going to shade in 2 1/6 in these boxes. We'll start with my 1/6. I know that's one slice of this. And I'm using yellow because it's light, and when we ultimately do something else with these boxes, we'll be able to see that. If you're shading with a pencil or a pen, just shade lightly for me. That way when we ultimately cut these other 2 boxes up in a bit, you'll still be able to see your lines that you used to cut. So now we have 2 and then 1/6. Now, can we take a whole something and cut it up? Absolutely. We can take a pizza, we can cut it into slices. Can we cut up this piece of paper? Absolutely. I got some scissors right here. But the big question is, if we cut this piece of paper, does the amount of paper we have change? So here we have 2 pieces of paper that are the same size. There's a little bit, tiny bit of difference because I cut these and I didn't cut straight. But I'm going to put this whole piece of paper off to the side, and we're going to look at this whole piece of paper here. If I take this piece of paper and I cut it, we now have 2 pieces of paper. I cut it in half, so we multiply by 1/2. Now we have 2 pieces. But did the amount of paper we have change? Let's put them back together and see if it's still the same size as this one. It is still the same size. Awesome. What if we do that again? What if I cut each of these in half? So now there are 4ths, because we have 4 pieces. There are now 4 pieces. Is it still the same amount of paper? Yes, it is. So if we cut a piece of paper into parts, as long as we don't get rid of any or throw any in the trash and nobody takes my paper, it's the same amount that we started with. So now let's say I cut this, then I cut these. As long as I don't drop any on the floor like I almost did right there, we end up with a lot of little pieces. Did the number of pieces we have change? Absolutely. We started with 1 piece, and now we have a lot of pieces. But did the amount of paper we have change? No, it didn't. I could go ahead and I could put all of these back together, and we would still have the same amount of pieces. Sorry, same amount of paper, not pieces. Same amount of paper as we started with. What did change was the number of pieces. So if we look at this fraction here for this paper, it would be 1 whole, or 1, right? Now this one, there are a lot of pieces, so many pieces that I have to tear off a little extra piece of paper to put our answer on. All right, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24 pieces. 24 pieces, but guess what? 24 pieces is 1 whole. So there are 24 parts, and then the whole is 24. So the amount of paper did not change, just the number of pieces. Why is this important? Besides having some snow now to throw at Mr. Barton. Shh, don't tell him it's coming. Well, we now have these 2 holes, right? But we see this little 6 here, that we've cut this piece into 6. Can we also cut these 2 holes into 6? Will that change the amount in there? No, it'll change the number of pieces, but it won't change the amount of box we have. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put my pen back together and then cut these into not very even 6. Okay, so now we're going to ask ourselves, how many shaded parts are there all together now? Well, I see there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 shaded parts. Okay. So there are 13 parts. We remember a fraction is a part over a whole. What is our whole? How many pieces are there in an entire whole? Well, there are 6 pieces. So our mixed number becomes an improper fraction as we cut the whole into that denominator, or how many parts are in the whole. So this 2 here is also equal to 12/6. We can check that because 12 divided by 6 is 2. So if 12 divided by 6 is 2, 2 equals 2. Awesome. So, y'all, there are 3 steps to go from a mixed number to an improper fraction if we don't want to draw it out every time. So we are going to take our mixed number here, 2 and 1/6, just straight from the top. And our first step is to multiply the whole number by the denominator. Our whole number is 2, and we want to multiply that by our denominator, which is 9. So we have 2. I said 9. Our denominator is 6. I used to use a harder problem, and then I realized that was too tough for me, so I changed our 9 to a 6. So we have a 6 here. Our denominator is truly 6. We have 2 times 6, which is 12. There we go, Mr. Spencer. Get your life together. The 2 times 6 is 12. Our second step is going to be to add the answer to our numerator. Add the answer to the numerator. So we have 12 plus 1, and I know that you know that I know that you know that 12 plus 1 equals 13. Well, now we've gone ahead, and you notice this 13 down here corresponds to these 13 shaded total pieces shaded in. Okay, then our third and final step, super difficult. I'm not sure you can handle it. Oh wait, I know you can. Our third step is to rewrite the answer from number 2. Ooh, that is a R. Rewrite the answer from number 2 over the denominator. So we're going to rewrite the answer from step 2 over the denominator. So it becomes 13 was our answer from step 2 over our denominator of 6, with 13 over 6. And that right there is our improper fraction. Awesome. So we now have the steps to go from a mixed number to an improper fraction. We may have seen that before. You may have seen that before. I know since I teach the math, I have seen that before. We're going to spend some time practicing that this week, but I wanted to make sure we had those 3 steps down. Pause the video here, set a timer for 1.5 minutes to 2 minutes, take a break, and then we will come back together to multiply mixed numbers. Awesome. All right, pause it. I'll see you in just a moment. Welcome back! If you didn't pause the video, that's okay. If you did pause the video, I hope you enjoyed your break. So we are going to flip our page over, and we are going to multiply some mixed numbers. Awesome. We are going to do the first part of these today, and then we'll take the second part on Friday. Tomorrow, on Thursday, your independent asynchronous assignment will be to practice some multiplication of mixed numbers by fractions. So we are multiplying mixed numbers. Today we're going to do it by fractions. On Friday we are going to do it by whole numbers. But we're going to use the same number from the page before, which was 2 and 1/6. And we are now going to multiply that times 3/4. Awesome. All right, y'all. Right now there are only 2 steps for this. 2 steps. That's all we got. We will eventually add in a third step, but not yet. So 2 steps for today and 2 steps for this week. Our first step says, just what we did on the page before, change our mixed number to an improper fraction. Well, we already know what this mixed number is as an improper fraction. Otherwise, we could solve it using the steps on the page below. We know that 2 and 1/6 equals 13/6. So, our second step, here we go. All we have to do is multiply the two fractions. So we have our first fraction here of 13/6. That is our improper fraction. And then we're going to multiply it by this 3/4 that we have up above. And this is going to be tough math, but I know that you can do it. We multiply numerators. 13 times 3 is going to be 39. And then 6 times 4 is 24. And there is our answer. Now, it's still an improper fraction. We're going to go over how to get it from this improper fraction to a mixed number shortly, but not yet. Just want us to get our basics down today. Awesome. Now, it's time for practice. Our first practice problem we're going to do all together, and then I'm going to give you 2 to do on your own because you are that awesome. All right, our first problem is 2 2/3 times 1/4. All right, I'm going to pause here for just a moment. You don't have to pause the video. I'm going to give us a little bit of time to think about our steps that we do first. Awesome. So our first step, I know we have to convert this mixed number to an improper fraction. So we are going to do 2 times 3. So we're multiplying the whole number by the denominator, and that is 6. Then we have to add the answer to our numerator, so that is 6 plus 2, and that equals 8. And then we have to rewrite our numerator, or that answer as our numerator over our denominator of 3. Awesome. Our second step is simply to multiply our new improper fraction, 8/3, and multiply it by 1/4. As we multiply our numerators, then our denominators, we see that 8 times 1 is 8, and 3 times 4 is 12. So our answer right there is 8/12. Awesome. 2 practice problems for you to do at home in the studio audience. Problem 2 is all yours. This also is our exit ticket for the day. You don't need to turn it in anywhere today. Just make sure you have it when you come to our live class or our recorded video on Friday. Our question 2 is 3 2/4 times 1/5. Question 3, that is your other exit ticket problem for today, is 1 4/5 times 1/2. There you go. You all are good to go. Once you solve these 2 problems, you are done for math for today. You are amazing. Keep it up. As always, if you need anything at all, just let me know. I am so proud of your continued hard work. Keep it up, Trojans. Goodbye. Have an awesome, 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 awesome Wednesday. I'm going to stall for a moment here. Finding my mouse. All right. Bye, Trojans. Y'all are amazing. See you soon.